I want you to imagine a coin in your mind. Your job is to take it, flip it, and your job is to land it on heads every single time. You flip it once, and you have a 1 in 2 chance to get heads. Now, if you flip it 10 times, you have a 1 in 1,024 chance to get all heads. But now if you flip it 100 times, your chances take a steep turn to 1 in 1.27 quintillion to land on all heads. Now imagine that all the choices you made today, which is about 70,000, was a coin flip. And the landing of heads is what got you here to this very moment. What would be the chances? This number would be so large, it would be impossible for me to repeat it in this lifetime. And yet, that is only today's choices. What about yesterday's? What about your parents' choices? What about the beginning of the universe? The extremely and unlikely odds of the very people we are today could only be possible if God existed. And when He does, this impossible probability becomes 1 out of 1. Now, I believe that in certain situations, we avoid them in fear of the answer. We fear that these answers will pick up our lives and throw them in a whirlwind. But I've come to realize that those are the answers we are meant to face. And in my sophomore year, I would have to face science. That year, I took Bible with Mr. Kirshner, and one of the units was about apologetics. The assignment was to prove your faith. But the question of whether my God existed terrified me, because it posed me with the question of rather I would stay comfy in my faith or really dig in and question the science of God. But don't get me wrong, science is what truly solidified my faith that my God is real. So let me ask you, what are the chances of God? What are the chances that a supernatural being way beyond our understanding created the world we know now? But no, Emily, evolution explains everything, right? Evolution could explain the variations in turtles, the variations in species, but evolution only talks about the change in life. What even is the chance of life? The Drake equation states that there is a 1 out of 100 million chance of life on a compatible planet. Did you hear that? This planet could have water, air, a sun, and a moon, and life would most likely still not be possible. And still, this equation doesn't even take into considerations things like the circumstances and the elements necessary for life. That number is 1 out of 10 billion. And yet, it still does not consider the most important probability, the probability of you. The chance of you sitting in this chair on this day at this very moment is a probability that could not be explained. But Emily, the world is infinite, so even these little probabilities are possible. Right, maybe they are, but that's only if the Big Bang happened. What are the chances of a Big Bang? What are the chances that everything we know and do is from, well, nothing? But everything doesn't come from nothing. Even probability can only happen if there's something to happen. The only explanation for these probabilities and the literal existence of them is if God existed. And when He does, these large, nonsensical, rare probabilities become 1 out of 1. The chance of life becomes 1 out of 1. And the chance of you sitting here is 1 out of 1. The plans of the Lord stand firm forever, the purposes of His heart through all generations. Psalm 33:11. The more we reflect on the probabilities of this world, the more we realize how much planning and care and design that God put into it. So if God can put Earth in a Goldilocks zone, God can undoubtedly care about your future. So stop caring for the opinions of this world. Stop letting its influences and its shackles stop you from living God's plan. because you are the evidence of God's existence. So live like you are the proof of God. Live defying the impossibles by simply being you. Because when you are possible, when every single one of us is possible, God is undoubtedly possible. Our lives are so beautiful, too intricate to be a byproduct of an infinite world. Our lives and our purposes were made from the moment He spoke light into this universe. Because of God's existence, we are who we are today. So be confident, be brave, and be passionate about who you are. Because you are not a probability. You are God's plan. Thank you.